So I am beyond honored to be here today. I've been out of Santa Clara County for about 2 years, and I've been asked by a decent number of people to do endorsements or to do something, and there's been no human being that I wanted to do something for. And so it is a complete honor, and you could think of that either way. I meant it in the way of the utmost honor. But it is only for Kathleen that I both flew home, but also wanted to be here to speak to you about why I think she would be an amazing candidate for the Board of Supervisors. I have to say, I've been in Washington, D.C. for the last couple of years, and it's very odd that you find leaders who don't represent one group of people. Like you find someone who represents incredibly business, someone who incredibly represents the labor movement. But what's remarkable about Kathleen is she's able to negotiate competing interests and make everyone feel like they've won. And I think that's the kind of leadership that in this moment we need. So not only is she the kind of leader we need, but the part that no one mentioned that's interesting to me is that there are no women on the Board of Supervisors if Kathleen doesn't win. It means in a county, that this county used to be famous because it is the place that pay equity came from. It's the county of Santa Clara, the women that sued and got pay equity. So to think that this Board of Supervisors would not have a woman, to me, would just be a shame on this county, especially when we have an extraordinarily passionate, incredible, dynamic, and a woman filled with integrity. The thing I think that's important about Kathleen also is that there are often people who have no voice who don't have good advocates. And if you've ever met Kathleen, I have to say when I first met her and they said this woman from Saratoga is coming to meet with you, I wasn't exactly thrilled. And when she walked in and she was this blonde woman, she starts to tell me how she worked at Applied Materials. I was waiting for a moment where I would say, okay, you have 10 minutes, is this meeting almost over? But what happened is that in herself and in her voice, she spoke for the people that most needed an advocate. And when you look at her or you hear where you came from, you might not anticipate that for children who have no health care, there is no greater advocate in this county. For people who are without services, there is no greater advocate for this county. I don't know that there's a better place for Kathleen to be than on the Board of Supervisors, because that's what the kind of county needs. That's the kind of leadership we need. Now, I have to tell you, I'm a little biased because not only do I like her as a policymaker, do I like her as that she brings integrity to politics, but I also like her because she's a soul sister. And she's the kind of friend that every person wishes they had. You can call her in the middle of the night and she acts like she was waiting for your phone call. Any crisis is one that she's already planned for. And she's just a woman that you should know, and I know that we all know. And so I think the greatest gift that we can give her to elect to the Board of Supervisors is to let everyone else have the kind of friend that we have. And to let people who don't have an advocate have someone like Kathleen advocating for them. Now, what's so great about Kathleen is she spent her whole life trying to create opportunity for other people. So this is our moment to help create opportunity for her and for the people that don't have advocates. So I just want to make sure, because I know Kathleen would never ask, that you all have maxed out. How many people know what it costs to max out to this Board of Supervisors race? Okay, 3 of you. So, Susie, thank you. Susie, how much does it cost? Tell them. $500. Now, I would be remiss to say that it's important to not only do good in politics with your behavior, but it's important to show up well. So I believe in this room there are people capable of writing $500 checks. And I'm looking at a couple of you and wondering if you have. So if you have, nod. If you have not, look at the piece of paper on your table, give information about yourself, and write a check for $500. So that is my commercial for Kathleen. But I want to tell you that I want to introduce her to you because I think so many of us know her as a person or know her as a policymaker, but there really is no one more credible for this county, no advocate better, and more importantly, no candidate willing to work harder to win. Because sometimes what's hard is we meet good people who are just good people but don't have the capacity and the tenacity to win. The thing I want to tell you about Kathleen is she's got the capacity and tenacity to win, and she's prepared to do that. And so our putting an investment in her is really an investment in the future of this county. So it's really my pleasure to introduce a woman that I can't wait to see on the Board of Supervisors, that I can't wait to figure out how to work with in my own work. So please welcome Kathleen King.